Fuck. So Chad recently added the IMRs HUD, which is the IMRs system. We used to use this system back in Mirage, Raiders vs Civilians, we did 4 years ago. And that shit was peak, and now that it's in the game, I'm making a guide video, aka reading it off the doc and making it into a video for the people who can't read because they're dummy fuck. So you might be asking, what is IMRs? IMRs is the immersive raid system which takes advantages of features baked into the game to bridge the gap between the imagination and visualizations. Sorry, my tongue is fucking weird. Whereas with most systems, you rely on the chat bubble and better understanding of what is going on. You can now contextualize things from a glance by observing the environment around you. And basically, sorry for dumbasses who don't understand. You get shot in the game, you replay getting shot. It's a little bit more than that, but that's just pretty much a quick summary of it. We used to rely on like trust who you were shot up by, but now that not trust, just looking at where you got shot on your body, and it was kind of just on you to replay it out. It still is on you, but now we have the IMRs HUD, which tells you where you were shot and what gun was you were shot by. So first of all, before we start this, you need these settings on to be able to play. Realistic darkness needs to be on. Water physics also needs to be on. The physical tool details also needs to be on. Honestly, from me, even the guy, just turn everything on. If you have low NPCs, if you have a low end PC, I guess, smooth day cycle and part and light and shadows can be turned off. If you suck and your PC sucks. Suppression, also commonly known as cover fire, is the action of shooting at an opponent to pin them down, to prevent them from shooting back, or to deny them from gaining ground. An IMRs raid, role-playing suppression is the combat roleplay action you will be doing the most of. Certain expectations made in situations where you are sniping or engaged in close quarters combat, aka CQC, which we will cover in a minute. If you are at the receiving end of suppressive fire, it is expected that you seek cover immediately. It is a human reaction to fear for your life, and you're fully expected to reflect this on your roleplay actions. If you do not seek cover within a realistic time frame, you are expected to call a hit or react to getting shot. Tip: clicking heads does not guarantee that the shots are going where you want them. I see. Just because you see a bullet trail physically connect with someone does not mean they have gotten hit. You are not as accurate IC as you want to be OOC, especially when adrenaline is gushing through your body. Gushing. You calm the fuck down! In IMRs, the burden of calling a hit is placed on the recipient's end and not the person carrying out the roleplay action. This means that it's not the shooter's responsibility to call a hit on who they were shooting at, or are shooting at. Injuries you sustain come to your own discretion, but it is expected that you call your hits in a realistic manner. Flashstorm staff and other people around you may call you out if you do not do this properly. You must react reasonably. If you start getting shot at and you find cover, then you can roleplay just a graze or nothing at all. If you take too much time to react, then you're expected to roleplay being shot. A heavy emphasis is placed on trust in IMRs. It is vital for the raid participants to call their shots and not cheat. If caught by a fellow participants or staff, the cheater will be removed and blacklisted from future events. Action! In IMRs, speed typing is penalized and outright banned. By participating in an IMRs raid, you are fully expected to flesh out your roleplay with detailed actions that put a focus on emotion and development. Still though, someone with a high WPM is probably going to react faster, just to let you know, but again, it is what it is. That your character is not a robot unless they're a droid, in which case, disregard. Make sure this is reflected through your roleplay with emotions, adrenaline rushes, and by making mistakes. You do not have infinite ammo and resources. You go to an IMRs raid, try ration your resources. If you run out, use this opportunity to reach out to other players to scavenge for some ammo of corpses. Try roleplay things you normally would not at a raid, such as getting a jam on your gun and clearing it, taking a water break, not constantly engaging in combat as you otherwise would in a typical raid. As a general rule of thumb, you can roleplay firing up to 1 round in a single action with a pump action, bolt action weapons, firing up to 5 rounds in a single action with semi-automatic weapons, firing up to 9 rounds in a single action with burst fire weapons, firing up to 15 rounds in a single action with automatic weapons. This ruling is exclusive to IMRs and would otherwise be classified as power play in normal circumstances. Due to the nature of this system and how it is built, fusing actions together is permissible in many situations. As a general rule of thumb, the following applies to fusing actions. Moving your arms and legs in the same action is allowed. For example, I take a step to the right, immediately squeezing the trigger and blind firing 3 round bursts in their general direction. Non-combative fuse actions, for example grabbing a water bottle while moving, is also permissible. permissible. Fuck me sideways, what the fuck. Aiming and shooting must always be separated. The same with reloading your weapon if in combat. Here's an image, kind of just, you know, what to do and what not to do. Brother, sniping is heavily regulated with an IMRs. That is the only role with special functions that allow it to circumvent core features of IMRs. Generally speaking, there are only 1 to 2 snipers active at any given raid. Snipers the only permitted to bring 1 sniper rifle and a sidearm, such as a submachine gun or a pistol. When they run out of sniper ammo, they can participate in the raid as a regular combatant with their sidearm. I'm so sorry that I can't speak. Rules for sniping at an IMRs raid. The sniper must toggle OC mode at their IC location. The sniper may only fire up to a limited amount of rounds for the whole raid. If I pronounce these calibers wrong, or rounds, whatever the fuck you call them, I'm sorry, but high calibers, 20 millimeter, 50 cal, etc., 4 rounds. Rifle calibers, 338, 27, 7th Fury, 262, etc., 8 rounds. Intermediate calibers, 556, 30, etc., 12 rounds. I've probably pronounced one of those wrong. I'm gonna get flamed in the comments. Sniper must do a D20 combat challenge roll when attempting to shoot a target. Example, if a sniper succeeds with a D20 combat challenge roll, why did the fuck just D20 by rolling higher than the target? The shot will connect. If the sniper fails the D20 roll, it will be a miss. The sniper must do a D20 perception challenge roll if 2 more shots are fired at the same target. Example, if the sniper fails the D20 perception challenge by rolling lower than the target, the opponents will be allowed to roleplay spotting the sniper and fire at their position. The sniper must convey how many rounds have been spent after every combat roleplay action. Example, I move the cycle to the side and then back before cycling another round in the chamber, having just squeezed off another shot. I now only have 3 rounds left to use.
I didn't bonk correctly, so
Close combat CQC rules are activated when 2 or more parties are within chat bubble distance. They can read each other's full chat. When this happens, regular IMRs rules no longer apply. As soon as 2 opponents enter CQC distance, regular D20 combat rules will apply. However, it is still expected that both parties will attempt to create distance between each other, as CQC can be very deadly. Should an argument break out as a result of CQC fighting, it should be settled through a moderator intervention, or, if none are currently present at the scene, through a decisive D20 roll. Modifiers apply in all situations where D20 rolling is necessary, such as for snipings or rolling CQC battles. In CQC, only training and allegiances, whatever the fuck, bonuses apply as modifiers. Weapons and weather conditions hold no bearings here. Mercenaries are unaffiliates who have been contracted by law factions for an event or quest. Here's an image of all the modifiers. Example 1, a Voyager, +2, using a military rifle. +2 during a windy weather event, -2 has 2+ modifiers for D20 combat rolls. Another example, a Raider -1 using a hunting rifle +1 during clear weather, +1 has a modifier +1 for all D20 combat rolls. These are modifiers which only apply in specific circumstances, such as specific locations or raid conditions. Home advantage gives a group or faction +4 modifier when fighting in territory considered to be theirs. Examples, USF, Black Mountain, Collation at Bargetown, South Point of Village, Illuminati Campus, you get it. A regular advantage gives an unconventional force a +3 modifier in the first 7 minutes of a raid when fighting conventional force, on one condition that they are the ones engaging the fighting. Conventional factions, USRF, Coalition, Illuminati, PKC, NMA. Unconventional factions, Voyagers, Southpoint, Biomass. Examples, Voyagers are ambushing the USRF will have a +3 modifier for the first 7 minutes of the raid. The same would apply if Southpoint ambushes the Coalition or Southpoint attacks Illuminati. Environmental advantage gives a select factions a +3 modifier in some environments. Voyagers have environment advantage in the urban environments, one of the conditions they will initiate in the raid. Southpoint has environmental advantage in the natural environments. Biomass has environmental advantage in biomass nests. It's very, my dog, bro. It's very self-explanatory. Sorry again about the dog. Here's, I'm not going to go over this because it's experimental. This fucking dog. But here's an image of just body recovery clothes. There you go. Let's just fucking read it. So that comes to an end of the full guide of the IMRs system. This video was made for idiots who cannot read. I can read, I just can't talk. So if that's shit, I'm sorry. Fuck you. Goodbye. Love you.